last bit, sometimes you need to think in terms of all of this in terms of your actual body. And so when you're holding a book, your tendons, if you feel, you got the pivot point for your forearm back at the elbow. And if you feel right here, the tendon attaches close to the pivot point. And so there's got to be, anytime you're doing anything here, you know, the pivot point is back here. The lever arm between your tendon and the pivot point is really short. And so you get a lot of force you have to apply back here to lift anything. So if you're lifting a kilo out here, which is about 10 Newton, about 10 Newtons, right? If you're lifting a kilo out here, you're having to apply way more than 10 Newtons back here. And one of the things that can happen with you, and especially as you age, you get to the point where some of these forces can exceed the tolerances of other parts of your body. For me in particular, I can get to the point where the forces I can apply exceed the tolerances of my joints. And the worst thing I've done to myself is I popped my right hip out of joint once trying to move a cabinet that was just too heavy to move by myself. Don't do that. Get help. So you should also think about what's happening with your body in terms of all of this, because your musculoskeletal system is all about levers and pivot points and leverage and what the leverage looks like, and making sure you're not hurting yourself, because when you lean forward, think about how little distance there is from the pivot point back at your hips to the muscles that are attaching to your spine to pull you back versus how far your center of mass is out here. And so the muscles in your back have to apply a lot of force to keep you from going too far forward. And this is why you want to lift with your knees, lift with your legs when you're lifting heavy objects, because when you lean over, you're already stressing the muscles in your lower back. So think about all of those in the context of the human body. If you decide to keep going with physics, maybe one day you'll get to take my medical physics class and we'll talk more about it. All right, that's it for this week's lectures.